Good evening. We need to get right to breaking news tonight with a Richmond police officer shot in the line of duty. She's in the hospital right now as this suspect is this suspect in the case. So let's get right out to Emily. She's in Richmond, which is close to the Ohio border. And Emily, we know that this officer isn't doing well right now.
That's right, Felicia. This Richmond officer, 28-year-old Sierra Burton, is fighting for her life tonight in a Dayton hospital after being shot earlier tonight during a traffic stop here in Richmond. We're on the scene of where that traffic stop happened about 6:30 tonight at 12th and C Street. You can see State Police, Indiana State Police are on scene. They are taking over this investigation, and it's likely going to be a long night for them. Here's what they say happened. Officer Burton, they say around 6:30, pulled over a suspect here at 12th and C Street. They say that suspect opened fire at Officer Burton several times, and assisting officers fired back at that suspect. They say the suspect then took off running, and officers chased that suspect. We know that they were able to take him into custody. Indiana State Police say that suspect was also shot. We do not know his condition, but we do know from Richmond Police Chief Michael Britt that Officer Burton and the suspect are at the same hospital. Now, this has been a very emotional night here for this community. Officer Burton is a 4-year veteran, and Officer Chief Michael Britt tells us that she was recently promoted to being a K-9 handler. Chief Britt says other officers are going through emotional pain tonight, and that most of the department, in fact all of the department, came in to assist when they heard that Officer Burton had been shot. Here's what the chief and the mayor told us about an hour and a half ago.
A lot of facts are yet to be determined. The thing that we do know for certain is my officer is in very critical condition, fighting for her life. Those of you who pray, I ask that you pray for her, as she could use it. The police department is obviously devastated. She's a fine officer, and we have a family environment here. But we hope the best.
This is a heavy evening in our community. Officer Burton has been a tremendous officer. She has supported this community. She's worked hard for this community, and tonight we need to return that to her. Tonight she needs our prayers. Our department needs our prayers, and I'm thankful that our officers were able to apprehend the assailant.
Now, we know that this investigation is ongoing. Chief Britt, again, asking for prayers tonight for Officer Burton. He tells us that she is engaged to be married, and that wedding was set for next weekend. Instead, she is in the hospital at this hour fighting for her life. Felicia?
Yes, Emily, live from Richmond, Indiana tonight. Thank you. Certainly a tough scene, still an active scene there with all the law enforcement on site. Thank you so much, Emily. And tonight, we're seeing so many social media posts flooding in for other departments across the state and country. This really is something that impacts officers not only in the Richmond Police Department, but everywhere and every time it happens. And this is the second time that we've seen an officer shot in the line of duty in just 10 days. Elwood officer Noah Shanavez was just laid to rest Saturday after he was killed during a traffic stop on July 31st. And just 2.5 hours ago, we learned the Elwood community raised more than $13,000 in his honor. The locally owned McDonald's donated half of its sales today to the Indiana Fallen Heroes Foundation and is accepting donations tomorrow. And we also learned today the Madison County prosecutor is signaling he may seek the death penalty for the man accused of killing Officer Shanavez. Rodney Cummings is asking for $50,000 in next year's budget in anticipation of a death penalty case. Cummings says his office is still meeting with the family of Officer Shanavez, and a decision on the death penalty could come soon. Court documents say Carl Roy Webb Boards fired 36 shots toward the officer's car and had a rifle with a high-capacity magazine. He faces 7 charges for murder and illegal gun possession. Right now, he's in jail without bond, and another court appearance set for next month. You can read details of this case right now at WTHR.com.